Okay. So I'm super excited for tonight's Zoom because Becky has an awesome story and she is going to inspire so many people. And I'm just so excited for you guys to hear this. So I'm not going to take up a ton of time. Becky, if you want to, I just unmuted you. I think it worked. If you want to go ahead and just share a little bit about your story, and then I have a couple of questions for you too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for inviting me on. I am excited to share with you guys. So like she said, my name is Becky. I'm a double diamond leader in the company, and I have kind of a different story. So I'll try not to like make it super long because it's involved, but I'll give you guys the short version of it so we have time for questions. But I first joined okay, so this is my second time around in the business. I first joined back in the summer of 2014. And at that time, I was just like so desperate to find a way to make extra money and still be at home because I had a daughter who was 18 months old. We had recently, well, I mean, like, I don't know the exact time frame, but we were struggling financially to where like we had lost our home to foreclosure. We'd gone through a bankruptcy. We were on food stamps, government assistance, getting help from our church, just like kind of hit rock bottom, if you will. And so that was my reason for looking for a way to make extra money from home. And I joined. I had tried other businesses in the past, you guys. Maybe some of you, it works isn't your first business. I don't know, but I was someone who had done other at-home businesses. And so I knew that I liked the idea of being able to make money from home. Like, who wouldn't? Maybe there's some people who wouldn't, but I'm always someone who has just loved that idea and just knew that there had to be something out there that was different from the other things I tried in the past, because I had done like a makeup company, you know, jewelry, clothing, tried other things. And I will tell you, the biggest thing with those that just didn't kind of vibe with me was having to invest a lot of money into inventory and doing in-home parties. Nothing against that, because we know that with It Works, like that's an option, you know. Then COVID hit, but it was just a lot of traveling and being away from the home. And so when I saw the opportunity of not having, you know, to make money, not having to carry inventory, not having to do in-home parties if I didn't want to, I was like, yes, count me in, sign me up. Had to borrow the money from my mom to get started, didn't have the $99. And that's when it was the wraps that came in the kit. So I immediately knew when I got my kit, I was going to sell those 4 wraps and make that money back. But long story short, so I was in the business, you guys, for gosh, even like 6.5 years before last summer. Life hit just really hard for our family in lots of different ways, as I'm sure a lot of people kind of, 2020 was a rough year, and something just deep down inside of me said, you need to step back and just like put your focus on your family right now and on these other things. And I didn't know really what that looked like, but as clear as day, I heard, you need to actually like quit, like be done, cancel out, which was just a really hard thing for me. But it took so much faith, you guys, and just so much trusting to do that. And so I did, and I took the summer off, waited the 90 days, got started again, and just, I will tell you this, during that time, it was hard for me. I love this company. I love these products. I love everything about It Works. The heart of it, our CEO, everything. It was hard for me, but on the other spectrum, it was what I needed, you know, just like that, I don't know, rejuvenating and just like coming back with new eyes and new excitement. And just using that time to really dive so deep into personal development, which I'm sure Courtney talks to you guys about a lot, and the importance of it. It's not something that I took very seriously in my business prior. And I think that definitely hurt me by not, because I just didn't see it as like, well, that's not an income producing activity. I'm like, I'm the, you know, if you guys know the color personalities, I am definitely a red color personality. And I'm someone who just like is driven and wants to just know, tell me what to do. How do I make money? And I'll do it. But I did take those 3 months, you know, that summertime off to read lots of books, to just really grow myself. And so I dove back in, just like hit the ground running. I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to like put everything into it. And yes, I'd done the business before, so I knew a lot. I wasn't like your newbie who joins not really knowing anything. And so I took that knowledge and just put it to action. I guess that's the biggest difference that I saw, not only my mindset and believing that I could do this and like already having the belief in the products, but just I really think it's just taking the action, because prior in the business, I was someone who did a lot of time just like, why I need to learn more. And there's got to be this secret sauce. And what is so-and-so doing? Kind of looking left and looking right, when really I knew what to do, because this business is simple. You know, we enroll customers, we enroll distributors, we hear them talking about the steps to success. I just need to put those blinders on, stop looking left and right, and just like stay in my own lane. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to let you ask questions, Courtney, because I don't want to ramble too much, but I'm excited.
No, you're so fine. I just love that looking at it now, you're like, in the past, I just was so focused on like, what was this person doing? What was that person doing? And it's so easy to do. It's so
It
easy
is.
to look at someone who joined either at the same time as you or after than you and being like, how are they diamond or how are they whatever? Like Cheyenne Knox joined like 6 months after me and she's ambassador
Right,
of like triple 2.0. And I'm like, why am I not triple? But
right.
it's so easy to look at that and stress yourself out when really, when I put my face down and I get my work done, crazy things happen.
So true.
So what happens is you stop because you're like, you do hard work and you look down and you're like blinders on for like 2 weeks. And then you're like, well, wait, how is this person doing? And then you get in the comparison game. So
You
you lose
do. Yes.
all chances of momentum because you're like, work, work, work. And then you're like, wait, compare, wait, what are they doing? And it's just like this vicious cycle. So I love that you talked about that because it's something that I wish I had learned a lot earlier.
Mhm.
I wish someone would have been like, stop looking at other people.
Right. You can be inspired by other people, I feel like, and you can
Yeah.
absolutely learn, like always plug into the trainings that are
Yeah.
available, always be coachable and learning, but then put it to action. Don't be like how I was and constantly be like bouncing around trying to figure out, well, is there a different script? Is there better wording? Is
Yeah.
there a magical post? Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to Morgan Martin about it and she was, because I was like, I feel like it's taken me so long to go triple. And she said, if you didn't know how long it took other people to go triple, you wouldn't know if you were fast or slow. It's just because
That's
you're
so
watching other
true.
people. She's
Yeah.
like, if you were in a room with no windows and you couldn't know anyone else's enrollments or when they promoted, you wouldn't know if you were going fast or incredibly slow, but it's in your mind because you watch so many other people. So,
Right.
okay. You talked about that you dove into personal development. And I think it's so funny because I'm such a strong red too that when people started talking about personal development, I'm like, okay, but I could be messaging people. Like I
I'm
could
the
be doing
same.
other things.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And it's so huge, the difference in your mindset and in your business and in your team when you're really diving into personal development. So were there any specific books, podcasts, whatever that you feel like really helped you?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, there's a lot. And it's not that I didn't do any, you guys, prior to rejoining or during that kind of 3-month period. I did. But during that time that I took off, I just like really, so one book that I read cover to cover. Sometimes I'll start one and I kind of like set it aside and jump into something different, but it was the 5 a.m. club. And I would say when it comes to personal development, I think we all know ourselves best and we know what is something that we need to improve on, that we feel like is holding us back. And for me, I love to sleep, y'all. I'm not going to lie. And I knew deep down that if I could just get up earlier, that it would make all the difference. That could be that time that I got that personal development and that I poured into myself, that I could drink my coffee in silence, before the whole rest of the house woke up, pray, journal, those type of things. So I definitely love the 5 a.m. club. And also if you're someone who that's something that you need help with, another great book is, oh my gosh, what is it called? The 5-second rule. That's a good one too by Mel Robbins. I had that one on Audible, and I do listen to Audible, I'd say more than actually like reading physical books. But another one would be, I think this was on Audible also. Oh, I'm trying to think of what it's called. Oh, I can't think of it right this second unless I look on my Audible app. There's so many podcasts. I mean, I do love to listen to Pam Souter's podcast. Love it. I feel like she's always having really great guests on there, you guys. Cami has a podcast. Cami's got one. There's other leaders that do, like Denise Walsh and Ashley Mayfield. I haven't listened to Jeide Hooper's yet, but I know that she has a podcast as well. I think my biggest advice when it comes to personal development is to, like I said, figure out what it is that you need help with. Do you need help with leadership? Okay, then you're going to look for books by John Maxwell, because that's what he talks about and that's what he focuses on. Ah, I found it. So another one that I listened to is called The Hollywood Commandments. I think it's called what is it? I think the book and the Audible are different. It's the same thing, but they call it something different. So the Audible is The Hollywood Commandments, and then I think the book is called The Success Commandments. Another one that was really good, if you guys are into sports or you like sports, this one's called It Takes What It Takes. And I remember Joel and Steph Dunn mentioning that one, and so I listened to that on Audible. And then I don't know, Atomic Habits, that was another one too. So good. There's a lot, you guys. There's so many. I just really truly think ask your enroller or ask Courtney for suggestions, but I think it's just important to be doing what it is that you need help with. If you're new to network marketing, the very first one that I ever, I think, read, and it's a short read, it's a fun read, it's an easy read, it's called Beach Money. That was one that I read like almost right off the bat. And I think another one was GoPro by Eric Worre, and it was just all about network marketing. So if that's something that you know, treat your car like a classroom, you know, get Audible. It's a tax write-off, you guys. It is absolutely worth whatever the investment. And I know there's ways that you can like get free Audibles, whatever, but I agree with, yeah.
It's huge to do personal development and read books that are focused on what you need help with.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling with like, you just aren't like in the right mindset, you're just like, some days you're good and some days you're like, ugh. There's a book called The Energy Bus that like is amazing. So good. And it's so easy to read. But I think it's crucial too, because I open the Zoom, I open up my tips from the top to like kind of whoever wants to be on, but ask your enroller and say, hey, one, is there something you think I'm struggling with or I need to do personal development with? Or if you already know what it is, hey, do you have any books that you recommend for leadership or belief or whatever? Because that's what your upline is here for, and not just to give you scripts, not just to do that, but to help you believe in yourself and get you where you need to go. So
you'll grow so much as a person. Oh my gosh, this business is, I've heard other leaders call it self-development with a compensation plan attached to it. And one other one that just came to my mind that has nothing really to do with business, but all about just like your mindset. The author is called Joel Osteen, and he I know he's got like a YouTube channel and several books, but the book was called The Power of I Am. And it's like, what are those things you're saying about yourself or thinking in your head, your I am statements? Oh my goodness, that one was huge for me, because how many times do we catch ourselves saying, I suck at signing customers, or I can't get DTs, or even just things about yourself that have nothing to do with business affect everything in your life, you know? And like, if you start the day off with a negative mindset, I can guarantee the rest of your day is just gonna follow suit and it's gonna go downhill.
Yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, listen, if you're in a bad mood, I would 100% rather you read a book than go send messages, because your messages are going to be pointless.
People can sense your vibe through
it's weird.
Your words.
It's weird, but they can. So let's talk about newbies. Do you have any tips that you, or like, not that we need your whole like new distributor training system, but is there anything specific of like you think that helps you get your new distributor started really strong?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and what I've seen can definitely hold a newbie back, is worrying too much about what other people think. I think that's huge. I think it's important too for a newbie to just kind of be ignorance on fire, meaning not to think that they, like I said before, don't think you have to know everything before you get started. We get to earn while we learn. So I, you know, I'm sure you guys do host a post. For me, that's just such a great way to dive in, because I know the first time I joined, I was like, dang, I've done so many other businesses. How can I possibly ask friends and family to, you know, support me in another business? Hey, doing something again. And I love that with host a post, they don't have to rely on immediate friends and family, but can tap into those people's networks. So I do like to get my newbies into host a post almost immediately, after they've, you know, kind of put up that post, just kind of a, what do you call it? Like a startup post, just being like, hey, you guys are going to see more of me on here. I'm just so excited starting something new. In addition to host a post, I also just like have them reach out to like their chicken noodle soup list. Maybe you guys have heard it called that before. Like, who would bring you chicken noodle soup if you were sick in bed, or who would come rescue you if you had a flat tire on the side of the road? Those people, maybe they aren't going to be the first ones to support you, but I guarantee that you got to ask them. I've heard too many other leaders say, like, I didn't ask friends and family at first, and I should have, you know. At least give them that opportunity. And if they say no, it's fine. Let them watch. And I think also too, advice for newbies is just super, super important to stay close to the fire, because I know that first 30 days with a new distributor is so crucial. It's so vital. It can really make or break them. And so just like really staying close to them, in communication with them. And I don't know, like I always tell them, I'm not a mind reader. Like if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling like you're being annoying to people, or you're not vibing with the message I gave you or a post, you know, just telling them like, you have to speak up and tell me.
Yeah.
You know?
I say that to my team all the time. I'm like, listen, I wish I was a mind reader, but I'm not. So like, you got to help me out. I can't read your brain. So you have your new distributors do host a post, and I know there are a couple of people on here that want their new distributors to do host to post, but they don't know, is there like a video you send them to kind of introduce them, because they don't want to overwhelm them and be like,
Right.
okay, we're going to do this, do that, and do this. So
yeah, it's just a short video. I think if you search on YouTube, Claire Flores, host a post, it's really short.
the short one.
There's so many videos out there, because I feel like almost every leader's done a video on host a post, or they've had a training and had someone be a guest speaker on there talking about it. But the way I explain it is simply that you are asking for referrals without coming right out and saying, hey, got any referrals you could send my way? That's really what host to post is, you guys. And I remind them too, we're in network marketing, so we need to be growing our network. The word is right in there in what we do, network. And so host to post is I say the best way to grow your network. I'm not huge on Instagram, you guys, so I do my business primarily through Facebook. I know you can do host a post maybe on Instagram. I've never dove into that, but I also like to keep things super simple, and usually start them out with like a Thermophyte X or a hair, skin, nails host a post, you know, something simple like that.
I love that. Okay, so what would you say to someone, or any advice for someone who is really wanting to promote, but they still need quite a few distributors? Do you have any tips for signing distributors quickly, signing lots of distributors?
Well, I will give you my it's not from me, and I can even like send you the wording later, but here's the thing. I'm very confident when it comes to signing customers, because I love the products. I use them all. So first tip, if you're not using the product, start using something, even if it's just one thing. And so I'm like, well, I'm so great and confident at signing customers. How can I then turn those potential customers, or turn those host to posters into potential distributors, right? So it used to be after someone did a host to post, I would thank them with a message offering them a sample pack. Do you guys love samples? Do you love making sample cash? I know I do. And I love that we can sample out the Skinny Brew or the Sleepy Tea through the app, or really anything that's in a sample size that you can get, you can sample. And so I used to send them a message offering them sample pack at a discount. And I would sell samples that way. I'm like, what if I could send them a message that offered them the business, because they literally just did what we do. That person just put up a post for you. Obviously, we know we do more than just that. So a girl on our team came up with a message, just opening up the conversation about the business to that person who just posted. And that's been huge. My biggest, so sending that message, and I'll share it with you, Courtney, is, if you don't ask, the answer is automatically no. And I know it can be scary, and I know it can be fearful. I have really bad anxiety, so I love that we can do this business just from our phones, versus having to be face to face. And you know what? No one died from hearing a no. And you will get a lot of no's or no thank yous, but then you will also get those, yeah, actually, I could use extra income, because that's how the message ends that we send. Could you use some extra income right now? Or are you looking to make extra income? And I think a lot of people also using the wording, like, are you open to some info? That's like so casual. That's like no pressure at all. Just using that phrase in your message, like, would you be open to some info? Would it be okay if I sent you some info? Almost everyone will say yes, because you've just piqued their interest. So really, truly the most simple tip. And I mean, obviously, sharing your story, being excited, talking about what the business has done for you. That's something that I need to get a little more out of my own comfort zone with, sharing my story on social media. I can share it with other distributors on a Zoom just fine, but it's putting it out there that sometimes I hold myself back. And the thing of it is that there's another mom out there who will be able to relate to your story, or maybe not even a mom, a college student, someone will be able to relate to it. And it's what they needed to hear. For me, like sharing about being on food stamps, it's embarrassing, but there's so many other people. We don't know what's happening behind closed doors. Social media is truly just a highlight reel, and you'd be surprised at how many people will maybe not necessarily comment on your post or like it, but they're watching. People are watching. They really are. So you have to just share.
Yeah, I love that. I love I currently, and I've been preaching it to the team, but I ask everyone who does a host to post if they'd be interested. But saying, are you open to some more info, is such like an easy question.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like, hey, are you interested in making money with me? It's just like, can I send you info? Like, it's not as intense. So I love that. And also
it's almost like when we used to have the Blitz card, if you remember the Blitz cards, yes. And you would say to someone, can I give you a coupon? Like, who's going to say no to a coupon?
Yeah.
Like,
girl, I started back in 2016. I remember the Blitz cards. I remember when the packs came with wraps, all of the things.
Yes. So yeah, it's just offering it. When you think of the business as a gift and not sharing it is like keeping something from someone, that just will change everything. You're just offering them a gift. It's our job to offer it. It's not on us to decide whether or not, it's for them or what their reply is going to be.
Yeah. I always tell people this is kind of my analogy. Okay. If you were a waitress that you served breakfast, every single table gets asked if they want coffee, right? Because the waitress is like, all right, it's morning, people like coffee. Just because one person says no, they're not saying, I hate you and your coffee and I want nothing to do with you. They're just like, no, I'm not interested. I don't want coffee. That doesn't mean, like, imagine then if she got one no and never asked anyone else if they wanted coffee, and everyone's like, hello, coffee, please. Right? Just if you ask one person if they want to make money with you and they're like, no, I'm not interested. Like, I'm good. Well, what if the next person that you were going to ask has been praying for this opportunity? You never know. So don't let one person's no stop you from asking other people, because all of our lives are 10 times better because of this business. So let's talk about leadership. How do you encourage newer distributors or like Rubies to really step into leadership? Is there anything that you walk them through, have them do, all those things?
Okay, I will just tell you that's not like necessarily my strongest suit. Just being honest, but I think some things to do would be Okay, coffee chats. That's something that I do. They're both now emerald leaders on my team going for diamond, but just say you got a ruby leader or someone, like, just get them on a coffee chat. Like, this Zoom is great. It's a little bit bigger than being a smaller, more intimate group, and people aren't like unmuted to chat. But I just really think, to me, leadership is, it's sharing what it is that you're doing. And I used to overthink it and just like really overwhelm myself with it, thinking, how can I possibly lead anyone? But I'm like, hey, I had success with signing customers from this post, or this is working for me. And I really think it's just trickling that down to your team. You're showing them what you're doing. You're leading by example. That is huge. And I think also too, just really, I don't know the word, but have those leaders on your team, those rubies, or even that executive, or maybe it's someone who's newer and they haven't promoted yet, but you see they're really rocking at them. Really put them on a pedestal and praise them, and have them share on a Zoom. You know what I mean? Like, I think that just does so much for someone and builds them up and builds their confidence, and they see that they have something to offer. This is the yellow in me. So I'm red primarily and dominantly, that's my color, but gosh, my yellow comes out when it comes to my team. Like my own personal like business, I'm like gung-ho red all the way, but my team, like I turn yellow. I turn yellow.
I love that. And I love that you share that you're like, it's not my strong suit, because I think a lot of times, put a 1 in the chat if you've been afraid to hit diamond or up because you're like, I feel like I need to know everything.
Or
Because
you're afraid that you're gonna have to lead a team.
yeah. Because here's the thing, you guys, no one has promoted to diamond and been like, oh my God, I so know how to lead a diamond team and I so know how to get us to double diamond and I'm just a pro at all of these things. No, y'all, we still like go to, I'm sure you'll say the same thing, Becky, like we go to the people and we're like, okay, here's a situation. What do I do? Okay, here's this person. How do I help them? Like, you're not supposed to know anything or know everything. You're going to learn it as you get there and as you're there. Okay. So what would you say to someone who's wanting to make some big moves in their business after it's been slow for a little bit?
Oh gosh, well that's a pretty wide question. I guess I mean, really just, I've had people on my team before, even in just the short time that I rejoined, because you guys, I got started back middle of October. So like right before the holidays. Okay. But I've got some people on my team that maybe life happened and they step back and they're like, okay, I'm ready to jump back in. I just really say it's host to post. It simply is. Does your team do giveaways with host to post?
Mhm.
Just let that person know this is the giveaway that what we're doing. And if it's something where everyone like pitches in a certain amount of money, if they can do it, have them do that. If they can't, that's okay. You know, like figure out something else for them to help them, but just simply starting with that. You know, I love to put up interactive posts, you guys, even if it has nothing to do with the business, just to like start that interaction on your social media again and get people coming back to your page. People love to give their opinion. You could ask anything in the world. I remember once asking when my daughter was younger, at what age did you get your daughter's ears pierced, or what age were your ears pierced? And just anything that gets people commenting and giving an opinion. Okay, then what do? You go to those commenters and you shoot them your message telling them about your giveaway and ask them to post. You know, they're already active on social media, and you're just going to expand your network that way. Another tip would just be to, of course, be excited, but start sharing and showing you using the products. As simple as, if you drink the coffee, which I am drinking some right now, you guys, it's 6:30 my time, but I will drink coffee any time of day. Just start showing you using the products, because I think that builds a lot of trust when people see that at least you're using the product and you're not just trying to get them to buy something. So, oh, that just brought up one other thing. I have to share this, even if this is the last thing I share. This is huge to me and it's so simple. But if you're doing host to post, what happens? You're friending people that you aren't friends with yet. They don't know you from anyone. They're probably going to start going and creeping on your page. So if you had people host a post, say, for example, about the coffee or cleanse or whatever product, I try to focus on one, maybe two products at a time with host a post. that's going to be what I'm posting about on my page for the products or on my stories. I want them to realize, oh, okay, yeah, she does have a business. The products are real. You have to kind of come at it from their perspective. And what's so funny too is these people will accept your friend request from commenting on a host of posts. And then sometimes before I even have a chance to message them, they've already jumped over to my page and they start liking and commenting on stuff. Happens all the time.
Mm-hmm. Happens to me all the time too. I have people I love when that happens, because if they add me from a host post and then they're like, they comment on like a cleanse post and then this and then that. And I'm like, okay, so you want everything. You want my entire store. Okay. So Nicole asked, what are you doing while pushing for triple? And we'll make this the last question because I know you have another Zoom.
Okay, again, you guys might not like the answer to this. Right now, I haven't started that third leg, that diamond leg for triple. I did promote to double diamond in February. And right now my focus is that emerald leg that I've got, who was the emerald for my double. I'm working on helping her to get to diamond. So I'm personally just strengthening the existing team and chart that I have, and just like, you know, bringing up other leaders. And then the girl who is so my husband is the diamond on my chart. So I promoted him to diamond. He doesn't work the business. His emerald leg, I'm helping her towards her diamond promotion. So just strengthening that. But ask the question again. Maybe I can still answer it, even though I haven't like got that third leg, diamond leg yet for triple.
So, and for those of you that are like newer, you don't know what a triple chart is. A triple chart is very, like, everybody in the business will always say double to triple is like the biggest jump because it's a massive chart difference. So I'm currently doing the same thing you're doing, Becky, where I'm just like strengthening my two legs because I need them super strong before I go to the third. So she asked, what are you doing while pushing for triple? So maybe instead of, even though we're not really pushing for triple,
right?
Like, what are things that you're doing to help move your business forward? I guess we'll turn it into that.
No, that's a really good question. I think honestly, I would call myself not like crazy, like in the hundreds or even whatever, but I sign a lot of customers. So that's definitely my strength, but we know that you can't promote just signing customers. So what I personally am doing is just like really trying to be very intentional with offering the business to everyone who hosts a post. I also think it's super important to know what attributes you want in a distributor on your team. And one thing that really just kind of like flipped the switch for me was this phrase when it came to distributors, was that rejection is protection. And what that means is that not everyone's meant to be in your business. And if you ever feel like you're having to convince someone to do the business, which I've been there, you guys, I've done that. We just get in that desperation mode, right? And we're like, I need them. And it's all about us. Then you're going to have to force them and talk them into actually working the business. And nobody wants that. And so I think just truly offering the business to everyone, just keep growing your network, just keep on sharing the opportunity. And here's the thing. We have an event coming up, you guys. Spring training is happening next Saturday. So a week from this Saturday. My biggest tip would be, and what I'm giving this tip to myself also, is just to grow my potentials list like crazy. I know we have promotions right now for customers. You've got your pick two. We had the $10 off thing. There's stuff for that, but I want to have a crazy list of potential distributors. I want to be in so many new conversations every single day. They don't have to sign up right now, right? But I want their name written down somewhere so that during spring training, when they do pop us with a surprise promotion for DTs, if they do, I obviously don't know, but if something comes out, I want to be prepared. I think that is one of my biggest tips, is just truly don't ever wait for something to be announced before you start working towards that, because you're already behind. You already are not going to benefit from that promotion or from that, promotion deal, whatever it is that they offer or launch, because those are limited time things. They're usually for a short span. So it's like the Boy Scout motto, be prepared.
Yeah. And you'll see, I mean, we obviously, like Becky said, we don't know for sure what's coming, but if there is a distributor promotion or whatever, and you see people signing 20, 30, 40 distributors, it's not because they started talking to them that day. They've been prepared. They have so many potentials. So someone messaged me privately. They said, how many host posts do you want to get up? Or like, do you get up every day? And then there's one more question.
Yeah, no, for sure. So my goal, like I know you guys probably hear like that 5 to 10 range. Well, the red in me is like a couple more. So I do shoot for at least 12 a day. Minimum of 12 a day. Does it happen every day? No, it doesn't. And I think I go into it knowing that that's not going to happen every day. I homeschool my daughter. I've got 2 teenage boys. Life is insane. But I know if my stretch goal is to get that 12. And if I hit that goal early in the day, I don't stop. I just get up as many as I can because we don't know what the next day is going to be like. And I just always want to have so many things going in my pipeline. I'd rather be overwhelmed than underwhelmed.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I always tell people, I'm like, don't let your minimum also be your maximum. Like,
Mhm.
don't let, okay, I want to get 5 host posts a day, but then you get 5 and then you're like, okay, I'm done.
Right.
Like, I want you, like what I told, I don't remember who I told on my team, but I said, when I lay in bed at night, I ask myself, am I proud of my work today? Could I have done more? Was I lazy in anything? Like, what did that look like? Because the only person that truly knows your day is you. So just because say your goal is 10 a day and you hit it by noon, that doesn't mean you don't need to look at host posts the rest of the day. Do you have time to do more? Then do more, because you never know if tomorrow something crazy is going to happen. You can't.
Yeah.
So,
And one thing I like to do, you guys, I told you I wasn't a really like early riser, but I'm working on it, is I don't overthink the time of day that I'm asking people to host a post. I've had other leaders tell me like, oh my gosh, like my team just doesn't, they just are trying to find that perfect time to ask people. I'm like, you can ask them anytime. I do not care. I could do it in bed while I'm watching a show with my husband, because guess what? That doesn't mean I have to reply back to them that evening that I'm messaging. I would love to just wake up in the next morning and have all these replies back. Like, yeah, girl, I'll post for you. Sure. Send the post over. You just have to do what works for you and just decide this is when I'm going to do it, or you're going to do it in the nooks and crannies of your day, which looks different every single day. And that is how I roll.
I was muted and I didn't know I was muted. I was talking. I was like, what's going on? Okay. There was 2 somewhat questions. This one can be just like a quick yes or no or whatever, but they said, would you still focus on distributors over customers, even if you're boxed with a strong chart?
Yeah, both. Because you can always strengthen your chart. You can always keep growing. Because here's the thing, you guys, new distributors help bring in volume. New distributors help bring in volume. And sometimes I definitely get caught into feeling like I'm charted for the promotion. I've just got to like bring in the volume myself and whoever's currently, on the team. No, do both.
Yeah. Love that. Okay. So then somebody said, do you have like a game plan for triple, like enrollments, charting, all that stuff, timeline, or are you kind of just right now helping your team promote and going from there?
I don't have a game plan, but I will tell you, my first time around in the business, I did promote to triple diamond, but it was like a really shaky chart. And I just learned so much from that, not to ever force a promotion. I think I am truly just at this time focusing on strengthening my existing chart. But I know that when that distributor comes along, that I just get that feeling like, oh my gosh, they need to be that new diamond. I just feel like I'll know it when it happens, and then I'll just move forward from at that point. But for sure, I don't want what I currently have to not be stronger.
Yeah.
I want it to be.
Yeah.
I do have another Zoom coming up in a little bit, but is there any other questions?
No, there's nothing else. I was going to say, I think we're good. Is there any like last minute things you wanted to share quick?
Not that I can think of right now. I just, I really think also, I guess the last thing would be to focus on, like, we all know our strengths. And I know we didn't talk about this, but I remember when TikTok and Reels started like becoming all the rage, I just got major anxiety over it. And I just started getting in my head thinking, well, gosh, I can't be successful now anymore because I'm not doing these things that other people are who are seeing massive enrollment. But again, going back to staying in your own lane. I'm not saying don't try new things, absolutely do, but I know myself well enough to know I'm not ready up here to like branch out to something else. So yeah, that's the beauty of this business, you guys. There really are so many ways to go about enrolling distributors and enrolling customers.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for
You're
speaking
welcome.
tonight. I will put this up on YouTube